In today's headlines, HSBC predicts optimistic Q4 for manufacturing. Buôn Ma Thuột Coffee registered trademark in Thailand. And over 35 billion Vietnamese dong more earmarked for trade promotion. Hello, you're watching Daily Buzz on VTV International, and I'm Lan Anh from Hanoi. As usual, now we'll look at the changes in the stock market today. Shares failed to retain gains during Wednesday's session after a positive rally on Tuesday. The VN Index on the Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange lost 3.16 points to end at 398.92 points. As 45.7 million shares changed hands, the value of trades totaled $32.5 million. The majority of blue chips tumbled. The VN30 restricted 3.32 points to 469.46 points. On the Hanoi Stock Exchange, the HNX index reached 60.92 points, falling 0.73 points. More than 31 million shares were traded, costing at $14.1 million. In the unlisted public company, the Upcom index lost 0.05 points to 38.14 points. Now following our stock report is the overview of the biggest gainers and losers of the day. A HSBC report released on September the 4th reported that Vietnam's manufacturing sector purchasing manager index, or PMI, reached 47.9 in August, up from 43.6 in July.
According to HSBC Asia economist Trịnh Nguyễn, while business conditions in Vietnam remain challenging, the slowdown of the rate of manufacturing decline suggests that economic activities will likely gradually recover in the fourth quarter. The survey of 400 purchasing managers of manufacturing firms shows that new export orders also decreased in August, but at a slower rate than for overall new work. Companies generally attributed the decline in total new business to weak demand from both domestic and external markets. It further showed that average input costs faced by Vietnamese goods producers rose in August, ending a 2-month period of decline. Despite the rise in costs, companies continued to lower their average prices. The latest decrease in factory gate charges was the fourth in as many months, but much slower than those seen in June and July.
Buôn Ma Thuột Coffee has become the first Vietnamese and ASEAN brand to register for a geographical indication trademark in Thailand. This move is intended to increase the brand's reputation and competitiveness in the international market.
According to the Buôn Ma Thuột Coffee Association, coffee has been traded in other countries under the Buôn Ma Thuột Coffee brand, and Vietnam will now have the opportunity to reclaim the name's use rights by registering for a geographical indications trademark. In 2010, a coffee company in Guangzhou, China registered the name Buôn Ma Thuột Coffee in China and received the right to use the brand name exclusively for 10 years in country. Once registered and internationally accepted, Vietnam will export high-quality coffee with genuine geographical indications and assert the Buôn Ma Thuột Coffee brand in the international market. The Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development is coordinating with the Buôn Ma Thuột Coffee Association to register this brand name in 16 other nations.
In other news, Vietnam's ICT sector earned revenue of $13.7 billion in 2011, registering a year-on-year increase of 79%, according to the Ministry of Information and Communications (MIC). The figures were reported in the Vietnam 2012 ICT White Book, a publication containing information on the country's ICT industry, released on September the 4th. The hardware sector earned $11.3 billion, accounting for 82% of the sector's total revenue, representing an annual growth rate of 101%. The core data of the Vietnam 2012 ICT White Book included the number of phone subscribers, internet users, and Vietnamese domain names. The book is now in its 4th edition and includes radio and video broadcasting sectors this year as an integrated part of ICT. Now, the Ministry of Industry and Trade Vũ Huy Hoàng has approved the second phase of the 2012 National Trade Promotion Program worth nearly 35.5 billion Vietnamese dong. The promotion will be targeted at export-oriented trade and the domestic market, as well as trade activities in mountains, borders, and islands, with priority to be given to major national plans. For export-oriented trade, the program will continue focusing on Vietnam's participation in domestic and overseas trade expos, attracting foreign enterprises to explore the Vietnamese market, holding international conferences on export products in Vietnam, and training staff in charge of trade promotion. The ministry has so far approved 2 phases of the National Trade Promotion Program for this year, with a total of 90 schemes costing 79.4 billion Vietnamese dong. It will cooperate with relevant ministries, agencies, and craft associations to work on the 3rd phase of the program this year. The Bringing Vietnamese Goods to Rural Areas program has made significant contribution in recent times in developing rural markets and promoting the campaign to encourage locals to use domestically produced goods. Meeting local consumer demand with well-thought-out business plans is an ideal way for businesses to develop a foothold in rural markets. The following report comes from the southern province of Tiền Giang.
The Bringing Vietnamese Goods to Rural Areas program visited Bình Phúc Nhật Commune, Chợ Gạo District from August the 30th to September the 4th. The 10 businesses which participated earned millions of US dollars. Although they prepared a wide range of products, they still proved insufficient to meet local demand.
Local people are waiting for programs like this. This promotional program offers not only cheap products, but it also a range of discounts. Products here are cheap, attractive, and good quality. Local people want good quality and reasonably priced Vietnamese products.
Businesses always take part in these one-off promotion programs in rural areas to set up a distribution network and develop market share. However, during this program, a wide range of goods with 5 to 10% discount were on sale. This more consistent approach to customers has proved much more effective.
The program helps local people find out more about Vietnamese goods. It also a chance for them to compare Vietnamese products with imported alternatives. I hope that people will be more aware of Vietnamese products and support a stronger domestic market. We always encourage Tiền Giang enterprises to bring Vietnamese products to rural areas.
According to market experts, local people can be loyal consumers. Therefore, if an enterprises can gain their trust, it will dominate local area and benefit from more sustainable business.
Now, as usual, let's have a look at the updated foreign exchange rates as of today, September the 5th. The Ministry of Finance has submitted a scheme to the Prime Minister for improving Vietnam's sovereign credit rating with a target for the country to achieve investment grade by 2020.
Currently, the nation maintains credit ratings from Standard & Poor's, Moody's and Fitch Ratings. Under the proposed scheme, the ministry has highlighted measures relating to institutional and economic management that include boosting social welfare policies to narrow the gap between rich and poor and among regions of the country. Next, measures will be undertaken to ensure sustainable growth and development, including restructuring of public investment, state-owned enterprises, credit institutions, and the stock market. The government will also tighten fiscal policies to reduce state budget deficit to 4.5% of GDP by 2015 and 4% by 2020. The sovereign credit rating is an important indicator for international investors and a tool used to determine countries' borrowing costs. In international capital markets, improvements of sovereign credit ratings can also help a country attract greater foreign investment.
Vietnam has extended the VAT payment deadline for about 100,000 small and medium enterprises or SMEs. The General Department of Taxation has issued detailed guidelines that would see 11 trillion Vietnamese dong in VAT payment by SMEs in different localities delayed to help them clear inventories after the government allows 6 months moratorium on VAT for selected businesses. In cases where businesses have already paid VAT, the tax office will help them to either use the payments to settle other outstanding tax payments or receive the money back. The tax will be due to be repaid by January 2013 at the latest. Now, Vietnam has exported more than 5.1 million tons of rice since the beginning of this year, earning over $2.26 billion according to the Vietnam Food Association, VFA. In August alone, the country exported 928,175 tons, valued at $398.56 million. Rice prices are rising on the domestic market, hovering around 5,800 to 6,200 Vietnamese dong per kilo in the Mekong Delta. The Asian Development Bank ADB recently announced that Vietnam and Thailand were Africa's 2 rice major suppliers. The bank predicted that Vietnam would become the world's 3rd largest rice exporter within the next decade, after Thailand and India. Now, according to the Vietnam Association of Seafood Exporters and Producers, VASEP, despite a sharp increase in its mollusk export to the U.S., Vietnam remains at a greater disadvantage than other countries. In the first 7 months of this year, the total export earnings from squid and octopus increased by 33% compared to the same period last year. However, the monthly growth was not steady, hovering somewhere between 14 to 79% from March to July. This was in part put down to the quality of products. Vietnam is placed the 16th among major exporters of mollusks to the U.S. And that's all we have for today's Economic Bulletin. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you more next time.